All right, welcome everyone. We are Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Ouran High School Host Club, episode 22. Yeah, so we had the test of courage, and Hikaru and Haruhi in that whole situation, and then running back to Kaoru.
Yeah, Kaoru being willing to maybe let something happen.
And also scared of what that means for him when something will probably happen.
Yeah, because I don't think they're necessarily going to become, like, a full-on, like, long-term couple.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see her kind of letting him basically...
Giving it a shot.
Give it a shot with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, shoot your shot, Hikaru. Give it a fair try.
But we have had a lot of Hikaru focus recently.
We have had a lot of Hikaru focus recently. I feel like we're kind of also going at this, like, back and forth thing between, like, external stuff coming in
and then internal.
And shaking stuff up versus then internal focus on a character within the club.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're due maybe for some of Haruhi's dad. Or
I am all for
maybe,
Haruhi's dad showing up.
Some stuff just outside the club in general, like maybe something connected to, like, one of the club members, but it's like some other set of characters outside that they bring in and introduce or some way like that. But yeah, let's find out. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, is this Honey focus? Kasanoda.
Yeah, this is Honey focus.
Wait.
Or is it?
No.
Wait.
New character? Little Lord.
It's the deep voice.
Wait. I was gonna say, it looks like a school uniform, but...
And he's a first year?
It's the bastard.
Yes! Oh my god, yes!
The rival of Takashi!
Wait!
Oh my god!
Takashi actually gets a dedicated episode?
Yes! Oh, I'm so ready for this!
Yes, please. Wow.
Such evanescent thoughts.
I love it.
Dark horse choice. Wait. Is the guy on the other side of the wall?
I think so. Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
Oh
my god, yes!
This is even better!
This is so much better than anything I could have, like, expected or imagined.
Oh my god!
He'll have to be outspoken for something like that.
Holy shit.
Oh
damn.
shit. Doing literally all of the things that he wasn't supposed to do. Alright.
Casanova-kun!
Wow.
Oh, Bossa-Nova! I love that Mori is in the other couch. He's not even looking at him. Yeah.
Catches on quick. And I love the strings in the background.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
俺だってみんなと遊びたい。慕ってくれる射程たちと一緒に関係とかしたいんだ。森の塚先輩。だから教えてほしい。
Oh my god.
How to be. Yeah. Because he doesn't say much, you know?
Yeah.
月が悪くて。無表情で無口で不愛想。
Oh, no!
His world's gonna collapse.
Yeah.
どうしたらそんなに周りの奴らに慕われることができるのか。どうかその秘訣を俺に。
He's like, oh no.
Yeah, honey's so concerned.
Help!
The fact that we actually saw that look on his face.
Right.
Of course.
顔を上げろ。ボサノバ君。
Bossa-Nova couldn't, yeah.
仮にキングと呼ぶがいい。
Uh,
だからいいかねボサノバ君。
Yes.
君と森先輩の相違点は多々あれど、決定的に君に欠けているものが一つある。ラブリーアイテムだ。
Lovely item.
アイテム。今回ご紹介するのはこちら。ラブリーアイテム三つ国くんである。
Yes.
ところがこの三つ国くんを肩に乗せればどうだ。まるで小動物に好かれる森のクマさん状態。
It's true though.
Yeah.
It's true.
yeah.
ハニー先輩を配置するだけで人は勝手に森先輩に包容力を。
This is so true.
Wait. So-
This is so meta.
Right. But that... Would Haruhi be the nice item?
Oh.
森先輩って
基本何もしてない。ポジション的にブー
He's-
僕のことに
Ah! Oh no! Oh no!
and he can't even say anything, but it's just shaking his head.
高橋にレンタ
ま
Ah.
あと問題にすべきはそのヤンキーファッションだな。
Your Yankee fashion. Wow. Oh my god. Now he's gonna return.
ご苦労だな、哲也。
Oh no.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He has dreads? Holy shit.
若、お帰りなせいやし。
They're all so
Look at the
awkward.
little 3-star band-aid too.
学校で何か
教室までカバンをお持ちします。
いい、間に合ってる。
なんすか。
An assassination
Shit.
attempt. What? Oh my god.
すげえ慕われてる。あの目つき怖いのに。いや、そんなこと言ってる場合じゃねえ。
Someone was trying to do a hit on
Yeah.
you.
狙われてる？明らかに誰かの恨みを買ってる。
Oh wow, he thinks it's Mori.
先輩に限って恨みを買うとかはない。
わかんねえだろ、そんなこと。
そんなことよりボサノバ君
Bossa-Nova kun.
ボサノバ君イメージアップ作戦を
Ah.
本格的に開始する。
This is amazing.
あれのせいで俺は昨日普段より余計恐れられちまったんだ。
ボサノバ君誤解しないでほしい。
I think we need Renge to help out
本
with
気で
this.
君を応援している。
あれ、そういやあんた誰だっけ。
Yeah.
同じ1年の藤岡です。仲間だね。
仲間。あんた缶蹴りとか好きか。
Trying to make a friend.
どちらかっていうと興味ないかも。でもたまにはいいかもね。何？
女みてえなやつだな。
ボサノバ君君のラブリーイメージ戦略が決定したよ。
Oh.
Who came up with that? Who came up with that?
かなりの万能ラブリーアイテムであると言われていたんだが、
ま、つけ耳だけで目つきの
There.
おのずと限界。
There are limits.
思い切って猫耳メイドさんにしないと。
Oh my god. Oh my
失
god.
礼しやす。カサノダの和歌はこちらに。
To be fair, no one will think you're intimidating if you're wearing that.
すいやせん。ひそやかなご指
Your private pastime.
そやから趣味だ。くそー、もうやってらんねえよ。
Oh.
餌持ってきてやったぞ。羽の具合見せてみろ。
餌あげてもいい？
ああ。といやこいつあんまり俺のこと怖がんねえな。でかい黒目だな。キラキラしてる。ほんと女みたい。特に俺のこと怖がるから。今までこんな風に喋ったことも。で、ここだろうがこいつ。考えてんだ俺は。
Ah.
飛んだ。
Oh, but its wing is better. Its wing is better.
汚ねえぞカサノダ。うちの頭の坊ちゃんをさらったあげくこんな用心棒までこの誘拐豆坊ちゃんを返せ。黙れくせ者、お縄じゃ。
狙われてたのは最初からボサノバ君。
And we took care of them easily.
犯人が捕まるまで黙ってることにしたの。騒動にならないようにね。
Oh.
俺のこと助けてくれたんですか。なんで。
Oh my god. Mori's huge.
Yeah.
どちらが
He's got the yaoi hands.
逆恨みも大概にしろ。てめえらみてえなのといんのが嫌で出てったのがまだわかんねえのか。とっとと失せやがれ。
Wait.
Really?
Oh.
ついに親父と大喧嘩して家を
Ran away. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So he's been staying with them all this time.
行くあてもなく道行く人がみんな
And then just like the
俺なんか
sparrow.
まるで見えないように通り過ぎていく。そんな時
Oh. Oh. All
あの
right.
時俺が一目見て思った通りの人です。
This is beautiful.
笠野田組に押しかけてった俺を優しく迎え入れてくれて。
All
して
right.
やす。若が人一倍照れ屋で不器用で、それでも人一倍やったけってこと。
Okay. Okay.
組の門はみんな知ってやす。
Ah.
若が恥ずかしがるから言えないだけなんです。
So
Oh.
it's like a Shakespeare situation.
Yeah.
俺をこれからも若のそばに置いてやってください。
You're my Bossa-Nova.
Yep.
おめえら使わせてもらう。
はい。
俺藤岡に謝んねえと。俺のせいでペンキまみれにさせちまった。
はるちゃんなら部室に着替え
Oh my
Haru-chan.
god.
Yeah.
どうも。
そんなことよりいいのか。春日は着替えに
Uh
行
huh.
ったんだぞ。
Yeah. Huh?
And wait for it. There.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
藤岡大丈夫か。悪かったな。
ちょっと。
ま
Ah! He is the word. Yeah.
I love it. I love
Ah,
it.
that episode was
That
amazing.
was great.
See, this is peak Ouran High School host.
Oh
Club.
yeah,
Like that.
And I love that even in the episode that was like, here's the Takashi focus episode. He's like, can someone else take this, please? I don't want it.
They're disassembling who I am. Do I have to speak? No. Am I scary looking? Like what?
God.
Oh.
The expressions that we got from Takashi this episode were
unreal. They're so good. Guys, this episode was so hilarious.
This
Like,
it was one of those things where
one of the funniest ones we've
where
seen.
like as the
Thus
show was
far.
going on, right? I'm like, okay, they're going through all the different characters, right? And it's great. But there was this part of me that's like, hold on, are they really going through all the characters? Because we get honey-focused episodes, we get twin-focused episodes, Kyoya, Tamaki, you know, Haruhi. And even with the twins...
Takashi!
But not Takashi. And even with the twins, while it mostly focused on Hikaru, we still got some good Kaoru stuff along the way, right? Whereas with Takashi, it's like very much supporting cast,
Yeah,
right?
very much so. Even when they do honey focus, where it gets really close to him,
it's still
not really his story.
Right. At most, it's the, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I twice didn't make him brush his teeth before his nap time.
Right, which is interesting because I always thought he was like one of the strongest contenders actually for Haruhi to end up liking.
Oh, yeah?
Based on that one episode where he protects Haruhi in the conservatory area when all the soldiers show up and he's like, ugh, like holding her and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, we get this episode where a guy who we thought there were multiple just genius misdirects.
Oh yeah.
Well, one because he's like yakuza or something.
But he's first year in high school.
Ugh. Large guy, red hair.
I don't need the car.
You know, like very much this specific type of character.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't want to fight or kill Takashi. No, he wants to be his apprentice.
Right.
Not for fighting, though.
Yeah, originally I thought it was for fighting.
But to specifically learn how to do
Fit in.
his social skills with regards to being this large monster of a man, and yet everyone loves him. And then Takashi gets completely disassembled by the trope squad.
Oh, yeah.
Basically saying, oh, no. Takashi, you are a good, wholesome person, yes. But the exterior is actually quite scary and intense. So the fact that you're paired with Honey Senpai makes you so much more approachable. You're like a big teddy bear. And he's just like, wait, all my life.
Takashi, have you just been using me?
I can't. I just love so much how he was in panic mode.
Yeah, just like
the whole time.
His whole world is falling apart. It's like, I'm not one for words, but I know this is a time when I need to speak them in order to set your mind at ease, but it's, I can't. It's like anguish.
And then the look he gave to Tamaki, this is just like, he didn't say a thing. It just blew, just nervousness and everything. And then Tamaki immediately, so yes, now we will do this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So wonderful.
There were days added to my lifespan from watching this episode.
I also gotta say. Now, we've had a bunch of characters get introduced over the course of this show.
Yes.
During episodes that focus on members of the host club, right?
True.
So they're kind of like, it's not really their episode, right? It's not like a Renga kind of a thing, right? It's just a, hey, here you go, and this is what we're doing, you know?
Right.
But I gotta say, this guy, I really like him as a character.
Very likable.
Like, this is great. Like,
My Bossa-Nova, too.
That's right. Yeah, just the Bossa-Nova thing in general is wonderful.
It's hilarious.
But then the whole thing of him, like, okay, it's cheesy, you know? It's pitching right down the middle, but it works.
Oh, yes.
The whole thing of him having the Sparrow and being like, hey, you okay? You know, all right,
God.
We'll try and fix up your wing, you know?
He's so conscientious.
And
He's
then,
so empathic.
And then it goes and flies away, and you think this might be something where he's like, but now, like you know,
it
hey,
left
it's
me alone, you know?
but it's
you can fly.
You can fly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, he ends up falling for Haruhi because Haruhi's so sensible that she's not going to be super intimidated by whatever, you know, front he puts up or whatever.
And she doesn't also join in as much of the host club's antics about how they're going to change him.
Right.
This is something that I think is actually really, really kind of deep and interesting here, because once we, like, closed off the episode, it was just going into the preview for the next episode, so it kind of spoiled that we're getting more of him in the next episode. But what I really hope they go into is the idea that the host club does not actually need to change him. And Haruhi brings this up of, you know, he doesn't actually need an image change. And then Honey goes, yeah, I hope that he figures that out. Because Honey is the one that on the inside is a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Actually the living weapon.
Right.
So Honey understands potentially that sometimes the image thing is helpful, but is not needed.
Yeah.
It is not needed because Honey doesn't have the negative of being brought up to look exactly this way.
Right.
But it has the scary capacity if he ever revealed his true form.
And the guy that was working for him from the other family that, you know, that joined up and stuff.
That was such a good
he
story.
He even mentioned, he's like, hey, everyone else at the family knows
we all get it.
We all get it. We know you're a sweet guy and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, we help, you know, like put up that front and everything, right? Because we don't want to make it uncomfortable for you.
And you know what's so perfect about this mini story here is that if they go a little bit more in depth into it, they can get really meta. in a really powerful message way. One of the things that this show does in a way that is a little bit a product of its time, or in some ways a lot of product of its time, is break down the ideas of just gender and sex.
Oh, sure.
In this case here, he has been raised to be basically the picture of the violent, masculine, terrifying
the toxic
guy.
masculinity thing,
But he has a really powerful, sensitive side that he wants to express.
Yep.
Now, it's going to be sometimes in really dumb, I kick the can with my fellas, you know? And it's like, you kick the can with your fellas.
And quite
you
frankly,
go and just do dumb, brawny things with your boys.
Yep.
Have a great time doing that.
Well, and even kick the can, like the fact that he's saying that, when I think of Kick the Can, now Kick the Can is actually a really fun game if you get into it.
Super fun game.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
It is also something that I very much associate with childhood.
Yes, true.
Not something that you really play after
adulthood.
Once you get closer to adulthood and stuff, right?
He is a first year, though.
He is a first year, right? So he's only 15, right?
Yeah.
But that communicates to me that he hasn't been able to have a childhood, or he feels like he hasn't been able to, right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he's
alone.
Because he's been alone, because he has to take over the family business, you know, and all of that. He doesn't want anything particularly crazy. He wants
he wants companionship.
He wants companionship.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, it's not quite this level of like going back to the basics, but it's almost the level of like, hey, let's go play on the swing set. That's
heartbreaking.
Like that's the heart of where it's coming from in my mind, even if it's not to that quite extreme level, right?
Because most kids at this time would be like, no, that's dumb. I don't want to do that anymore.
But it's
because
such
I'm gonna go and just do other things with my friends.
Right. I gotta show that I can be a grown up and stuff. Right. But for this dude, he's so desperate for that kind of simple connection and play that is incredibly important in life
and development. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That it's like no. Like really, just kick the can. That would be awesome.
That'd be huge.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then of course when Haruhi comes along and is just her awesome self.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, whoa.
Like he's actually just attracted to her.
Yeah. He's just like this guy's actually like hot. Like it's one of those things where it's the he so desperately desires companionship and someone that, you know, just treats him like a regular person, that all of a sudden it's like
it's attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a lot of ways I hope they're rather sensitive with that, because it's not a thing of where he's desperate and specifically for a romantic connection.
Oh no, but it's just that
the idea that he's being treated normally like a human being, and that he's like, oh, and I also happen to be attracted to you. So
Haruhi stole his heart, absolutely. Not necessarily in a romantic way right away, right? But just that she absolutely stole his heart from the standpoint of needing that companionship.
Yeah.
The fact that he then finds out that, oh, she's a girl, probably will explain some things in his mind, you know, and be like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. But then also, given that we saw, you know, that barest glimpse of the next episode thing, I get the feeling that he's gonna be like, hey, do you wanna
Casanova?
do you wanna kick the can together? You know, like,
hey, once in a while. Yeah. I think she already kind of offered of like, yeah, I'm not really into that, but once in a while, why not?
You know.
So this is going to be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Also, I love the idea that, you know, just to clarify Jacob's whole thing with Shakespeare, it's a reference to Stardust for those who have not seen Stardust.
Yeah, not
That's
like Shakespeare, like the playwright.
But with this being a thing of where they all know, the difference being that the other family that thinks that he kidnapped their boss's son, there can be some cool subversions of when he does go back to them and he basically doesn't do the kind of thing to them. How do they respond since that didn't happen? Will he suddenly have a lot of fellas that want to do stuff with him?
Right. Because there is that professional divide of like,
yes, exactly.
You're the little boss, right? So, you know, we have to be like, yes, have
little
a great
lord.
day. Little lord, yeah. So we have to do the whole, have a great day at work, right? And it's like, no, it's school, guys, it's school, So they can't really be true friends with him.
Correct.
But
that's why they're the fellas that follow him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with regards to the dude that came from the other family,
yeah,
that's like Romeo and Juliet, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
You're saying, buddy.
Yes.
You've got your best mate like right there beside you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ready to be there for you at any point.
Yeah.
Because you already basically like changed his life forever right there by being willing to see him because
when he was a nobody.
Right, because you're someone who's used to that probably.
Right.
And I think there's something rather simple about having this be like the backstory where he gets idealized a bit in the other guy's mind,
Oh, sure.
because of this simple act of kindness.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the kind of thing that when you think about it in the real world sense, most people don't see truly the people that they come into contact with out and about in the world.
Yeah.
There's this act of being able to go through the world and not actually really seeing anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And given that that's one of the things that he did in the moment where the guy needed it most, this shows a depth of character to our new boy here that is really special. So
I feel like it's with regards to those sides of you that other people might not necessarily see, or those sides of other people that you might not necessarily see.
Sure.
It's not usually, I feel like, that those sides aren't there. It's just that we don't see them. Because of circumstances, environment, and things like that, there's never the reason. We never get that privilege, right? But it can happen. And when that happens, it's precious, right? God, that face from Takashi.
Yeah, I'm just going through the episode, just checking about a bunch of the parts, yeah.
But, like, that's something where this guy, the red-haired dude... Bossa-Nova, yeah, there we go. Bossa-Nova would probably never have realized without this guy telling him just how much that moment meant to him.
Right.
Right?
Because he probably saw it as something simple.
Right. Something simple. Something that's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's those no big deal things that matter the most.
Yeah.
He never even would have found out that he was part of the other family if the members of that family hadn't come to try and get revenge for the kidnapping.
Right. Right.
Like...
because their family is so awful that
right.
the only reason he would go there and stay there after all this time
is if he's
forced. Their ward that they took in some battle of some kind.
But we haven't gotten any ransom demands or anything like that. What's going on?
Yeah. It's obviously being tortured to the point where he doesn't even feel the need to. He might even be brainwashed and experiencing Stockholm Syndrome.
And I'm sure there would be all kinds of fan fictions that would be written about those two.
I think that legitimately
they
could be even setting up a legitimate beginnings of a Nakama for now.
Right,
and,
right.
A little bit more later.
And that kind of goes along with the trend that Ouran seems to do, where it's like for a lot of the characters, there is that sort of like, is there something else to some of the dynamics, But then there doesn't necessarily have to be. Like,
Ouran doesn't necessarily commit to a lot of the kind of, I would say, more, how I say, realistic LGBT kind of stuff going on there in general.
And that's something where I would say it's both the show being meta, because it's the whole thing of it's popular, so it's in here, right? Like it's them playing it up to the fangirls, but then also a little bit of the product of its time, where it's not going to go canon confirming a bunch of that kind of stuff, because just the idea, like the progressive stuff that's happening in here is the fact that Haruhi's a girl and she can still hang with the boys, right? Like
basically.
and that's a definite oversimplification of it, but that's
where we're at.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. So out, we might want more. Well, we have to manage our expectations.
But still, great stuff. And given that the next episode seems to be continuing this kid's story, Bossa-Nova. I am so there for that.
Yeah, this episode, as a way to introduce his character, was an aggressive introduction.
Yep.
He has two very powerful, strong, contradicting aspects of his character, and he has a tied relationship to one of the characters in the host club. This like fits the formula to a T of how Jacob and I like love side characters to be introduced.
Yes, this is probably
like it's
probably
textbook.
my favorite example of like if there were to be a side character introduced that is going
stays
to
with the cast.
that stays with the cast other than basically Renga, like
Yeah, or actually, I would say even better than Renga is compare this Bossa-Nova to Haruhi's dad. Haruhi's
Sure.
dad is in some ways not even as good as this. Like Haruhi's dad is just barely underneath in my
because
opinion.
it's
really close.
With
but
Renga and Haruhi's dad, they're both played for comedy most
lot
of the
more,
time.
yeah.
Whereas this guy, his struggle seems to be a lot for them. It's portrayed as serious more than comedic. I feel like
because his problem is an emotional one.
yeah, like
through and through.
even the whole idea of him being like, how do I forget the bros, how do I actually like interact with girls and stuff?
Yeah.
Like if he's having enough trouble just having
I'm
friends and
nobody.
things, right? Like and in all seriousness, I can't imagine what it would be like if you were the child of a mob boss to be like, how do I actually form meaningful relationships with people
where they're not thinking about the fact that I'm a mob boss.
right exactly
yeah.
like how does that actually work?
Yep.
Because
I can't imagine.
how do you feel like a peer with somebody
Yeah.
enough to be in a serious relationship like that?
I can't imagine how this works also in those like specific areas of people's work where their kids are kind of forced to grow up too quickly or differently because of the work of the parents.
Sure.
And that is its own thing. In a lot of ways, there might be some cool ways they could explore how Haruhi was forced to grow up also too quickly
Because of
her
her
family
mom's
situation
death and all that. And
yeah. So I am very excited for his character to get more depth. Oh, and that's the other thing of why I'd say he has a better introduction than the other two characters, which are more tropey and played up for comedy, is that he's brought in with his flaw leading the way.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the other characters aren't brought in with the idea of baked-in character development coming on their way. Like Haruhi's dad being one that's going to warm up to Tamaki, for one.
Yeah, but even then, it's more of a thing where he's a fully realized character. He's already gone through his growth and stuff, and that's part of the journey that he's had with Haruhi.
Yeah,
right?
and his flaws aren't going to change because they're already baked in, basically. Same with Renga, who is by and by really just a walking trope machine.
Yeah, she is just the person that takes the sledgehammer to the fourth wall. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it too much, but there was the kind of feudal Japan era cosplay going on, which is really
cool.
funny. I liked the idea that they were going after like specific characters, like that were like actual real people in Japanese history, and then how because of them being a mix of playing off of a certain character, like or a certain person from history, but then utilizing the garb that is going to make the patrons of the host club fantasize in a more free way is like the winning combination. It felt so so on the nose with the idea that we don't really care about historical accuracy or anything like that.
Right.
We get you that flavor of that. Ooh, it's different. It's unique and stuff. And I fill in all the blanks in my head, and it's just
They're not dressing up to be anyone in particular. They're just making it so that they theoretically could be anybody.
Right.
You know?
And we're actually not going that serious into it. We're baiting the normies basically with this. It felt like some kind of humor that was not meant for me because I'm not really going to experience too many people like that in my life and social circle. But it feels like there's like this specific group of people that just got burned really hard by this sense of humor. and they're just like, ooh, that hurts. Oh, that's me. That's me.
Totally different situation, but slight tangent here.
Okay.
My favorite part of when I read The Hunger Games, like the first one, was not actually the death battle or the post-apocalyptic world or the will they, won't they or anything like that. It was the fact that Katniss would cheese out the making it seem like there was some steamy romance or something going on with her and Peeta, so that then all those rich schmucks out there would like spend tons of money to like send her items to help her like win the death tournament. That was my favorite part of the whole book, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what the host club was doing here, right?
Sure.
Where it's just like, we'll take a pose and have sort of like a generic kind of emotion or forlorn expression on our faces, and then they'll be like, oh my god, it could totally be, you know, so-and-so or this person, right?
That was Haruhi thinking about the sale at the supermarket. Very like Saitama from One Punch Man. You know? But they're all like, oh, what an expression. This is so... So I feel like we need to be a little bit explained as to like the true meta humor of what was going on there. But from what I could kind of pick up, it was wonderful.
And then, of course, the breaking of the fourth wall with, Takashi only gets one line per episode, you know.
And we're in the second half of the second season, so I mean, That
was great.
And I think when they say season, they're meaning that I think the Cours were probably released maybe with a slight gap in between them or something. So, yeah, that's probably what that ties to. But y'all, this was a ridiculously good episode. Like, this is some...
excellent.
Yes, excellent stuff.
Excellent.
I gotta see this in the dub. Gotta see this in the dub.
And again,
I have to know what voice they're gonna give to Bossa-Nova as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I want the Takashi stuff as well.
Yep.
But I really want to know, like, who do they choose for Bossa-Nova when he does his, you know?
But I need to see the scene in the dub of Takashi and Honey as Honey's like, were you just using me?
Takashi, were you using me?
You have a contract for me?
Yeah.
And it's just...
I just love the idea that Tamaki and Kyoya every once in a while like, so, are we going to renew the contract with, Honey Senpai and Takashi? And Kyoya's like, don't worry, babe, I've got that all unlocked. And he's like,
right.
Of course.
And Takashi never actually, like, knows about a contract or anything, right? It's just that they're like, we got to keep Honey with Takashi, right? That's where he's most effective. Yes, obviously, right? You know, yeah.
And while Takashi, or while Honey Senpai thinks he's, like, signing out on an order for, you know, saying that he wants more cakes and stuff, somewhere baked into that little listing is a contract.
Print,
some fine print there, and Kyoya's been scheming this whole thing together for a while.
Let's be real. Honey doesn't need a contract to stick with Takashi.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I just like that there's an idea that somehow the wool was kind of pulled over Honey Senpai's eyes, and yet Honey didn't just smite a bitch, you know?
No, what I'm sure happened is that Kyoya was like, all right, we're going to Pavlov's dog this. Every time that Honey is with Takashi, we're going to give him cake.
Exactly. And then
this
eventually, is canon.
And then eventually, he'll just think, you know what? I like being around Takashi.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect. He sits on his shoulders. He puts his plate of cake on Takashi's head. And just eats it, you know?
This is such a wonderful cast of characters.
Yep,
but y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.